So the bonnet's back on, and the paint is dried. I'm very happy how it's turned out. So the final stage is just to go over the paint now with some clear varnish, and that should just take a bit of the very bright white look off it, along with sealing up the paint. So I have most of it done, and it's not showing out in the video at all. I'm working on a bit of the zero here. For some reason it's not showing up. What I do is I paint this on fairly thick. I want brush strokes to be seen if possible. They probably won't show up when it dries, but I want it to look a little bit textured and patinaed. That's what I'm going for here. And them little scratches there from the knife, touch them up with a bit of varnish. I have seen people actually tinning down varnish and using it as a lacquer as well, to try and get a bit more of a goldy or vintage look. So that's what I'm doing with this. The beauty of this is not only will it protect this paint, if I'm taking off the bonnet and scratching off the buttons on my shirt or anything like that, it will put a little extra layer of protection on the paint, stop it peeling off or anything like that. But more importantly, it'll give it that slightly more textured and patina look, a bit more age to it, as if this was done before now. And it will slowly, I'd imagine, wear off if things are rubbed against it over time. So the plan is just to go over a few times, build this up, and try and get a bit more texture on it, so it doesn't look like just a sticker. It's not what I want. I don't want this to look like a plastic sticker, shiny vinyl sticker or whatever you want. So I'm going to keep building up the varnish. I want it to look like something that was done by hand. It looks a little bit more interesting than just, as I said, a kind of a plasticky finish. So, and the way I want to build it up is not to build it up all in the same place, but you see the kind of goldy colour you get when you put it on thick. Put it on in places, try and get it a little more textured, as the man says. Slowly, I can keep slowly tipping at this till I get the look that I want. Well, it looks a lot more interesting. Again, I don't think it's showing up very well in the video, but there's a little hair there, or a little bit of the bristle. It doesn't matter if this goes outside the letters. I want the whole lot to look a bit more aged and vintage. Don't mind if it's running even a little bit in places. It's going to all just add to it and make it look a little bit more hand painted like the old days. So you'll see there with the 6 there, it's showing up fairly well in the video. That kind of a finish is what I'm looking for. Give this a little bit more, I was going to say a little more age to it, but to make it look like it's a little older than it is. So I think that's going to look a lot better. Definitely does from where I'm looking at it, but I don't think it's turning out very well in the video. So that kind of thing, little places there where it's put on a little heavier than others, and that'll just help give that definitely makes it look a lot more interesting. And of course it serves then to keep it sealed. So I'm just going to do little bits and pieces of this, let it dry, have a look at it then tomorrow, see how level it's actually after drying. If it started drying, maybe it, mind you, the places I've put it on heavier, it'll definitely show up bit darker, more goldier in those places. So that's what I am going for. Definitely doesn't look like it was, well, I was going to say, definitely doesn't look like it was done yesterday. Well, it might have been, it might look like it was done yesterday, but if you put your finger on it, you'd probably realise it was done yesterday or today with how wet it is. But as far as the look goes, I think it's clear, and it's not becoming too much of a feature. It's slightly goldy, as you can see. That's what I want, rather than bright white, and just stands out just enough without. As I said, the other option I would have had would have been to paint a kind of a black area there in the shape of a rectangle, and then to put this on it today after it was dried, and you'd be left with a black background. But I hate, to be honest with you, I don't like that look at all. So I think this is kind of a little more neater than we say what would have been done maybe on a farm years ago. But that's what I'm looking for. I'll probably end up doing something similar to the Ferguson 20. As I showed you, the reg plate is way too wide for it, and I'm not bolting on a reg, so I let my eyes adjust to that. I'll open up the shed door here, let a bit of daylight in at it. I can stand back further and show off the work. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And my brass sauce still a sin caiimi rá.